Hey everyone, this video is for the latest software update for the AR4 robot. This is for software version 6.0. In this software version I have added a graphical interface or a digital twin. So you have a graphic window with a virtual robot that you can jog around and program the robot offline. If this is your first time seeing the AR4 robot, this is kind of a free or an open project for everyone. If you go here to the website, you can download all of the software, the source files. You can download all of the 3D print files and complete manual and build of materials. Here on the kits page, if you wanted to build the AR4 robot, there's kits available to build it. And the manual also has a full bill of materials, so you can source parts wherever you want. This project has become pretty popular, and I've had a ton of fun building this robot and then updating it. I'm finding it all over the place, being used in schools, universities, being posted on various projects on LinkedIn, and people are using it in their for manufacturing and their small businesses. So it's been a lot of fun to keep updating this project. If I click on virtual robot, it's going to pop open a virtual robot window. So you can see in this window here, if I left click, I can roll the robot around to any position that I want. And then I can also use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out, and then press the mouse center button to pan the robot around like that. So I will just place this window over here on my other screen next to a video feed of the real robot. So when you jog the robot, it'll jog both the real robot and the virtual robot simultaneously. So if I click the jog buttons here, I'm in the incremental jog mode. You can see they both move together. So I'm jogging joint 1, and then jogging joint 2, and then let's jog joint 5. And then we can also use Cartesian jog to jog in the X direction, for example, or go down in the Z direction. And then we can, of course, create a program and run it on both robots. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to load a test program, open that up, and I'm just going to delete what was in that test program. And we'll teach a new position there where we're at. We'll go maybe up in the Z direction a little bit and teach another position, come back in the X. We'll teach another position. Maybe we'll go the other direction on joint 1. And teach a position, and then let's go forward on joint 2. And then we'll teach another position there. So now when I hit play, both robots will play back through the positions that we just taught. Okay, so now we can test the run offline mode. So if we press the offline mode button, it will basically, any controls for the real robot will be disabled. The virtual robot goes back to a home position, and then we can jog that robot around. I'm going to take it out of incremental mode and jog it. It'll just jog as long as I'm holding the button. So you can see it jogs just like the real robot does. And again, I can, let's delete this program and create another program. And so we'll start here. Let's just do a joint move. We'll teach a new position. And then let's just move down in the Z direction. And we'll teach another position, and then maybe we'll do a linear, perfectly linear move, and we'll go forward in the X direction. We'll teach that position, and then let's jog joint 1 around. Maybe we go back to a joint move, teach that, and then let's say we want to rotate the tool. We can rotate joint 6 around to 90 degrees. and we say we want that to be an absolute joint move, a rotation, or a move R. We can teach that position. So now I can hit play and play back through it, and the virtual robot will play back through that program we just made. So you can see the virtual robot just played through that program. Now if we go back online, you can see that the virtual robot will snap back to the actual position of the real robot. It will query the position from the board on the controller, make sure that it's in the exact same position, and now if we hit play, both robots can run that program together. And one thing I wanted to note here, when we're not in incremental jog, when we're in live jog, the robot is moving as long as you're holding the button down. So I'm going to jog joint 2 in live mode, and you'll notice that the virtual robot, when I'm done, when I let off the button, the virtual robot snaps to the position of the actual robot. The reason for this is the CPU speed on my computer may not be exactly the same as the actual controller's position. So because it's only moving as long as I'm holding the button, it may not match perfectly, but at the end it will query the position, it will sync itself up and make sure that your virtual robot is at the exact position of the real robot. So I've noticed there's a little bit of, I've ran this on a couple different computers, and just depending on what CPU is on the computer, that'll change a little bit, but they match fairly close. If we go to the config setting tab and we go to the robot color, I can change the robot color. You can see there we've changed the robot to red, or we can change it to blue. There's a few different colors here. Change it to white, and I can click save and it will retain that, so the next time I open it, it will be on that color. I'm going to go back to my load button here, and I'm going to load the home program, and we'll run the robot home. And then if we go to the config setting tab, we have the ability to import other files into the scene. So if we go back to the config setting tab, we can come in here and import an STL model. So click on that. I've got this fixture file, and you can see it brings it into the scene at 0, right where the robot base is. So we can come in here and offset the position. So we'll set that forward in the X position by about 350 millimeters. And then, we could move the fixture up by, let's say 50 millimeters and update its position. So now we've got, we can bring in as many models into the scene as we want to. We can rotate it. If I needed to rotate it 90 degrees, I could do that. So that gives us the ability to bring other pieces of equipment into the scene to work with. This is the main control screen for the AR4 robot. It hasn't changed much. It's still got the same command window for building out your program. You've got all your command buttons for inserting various commands into the program. We've got our joint jogging buttons and controls, our Cartesian jogging buttons, and then our auxiliary axis control, if-then statements, all that stuff. I have added a couple buttons here. We've got a virtual robot button and a run offline button. And then on the config setting tab, this is the same. We've got all of our controls for calibrating the robot. We've got our calibration offsets, our setup for our external axes, and then I've added a section here for changing the virtual robot's color and for importing models into the scene. On the kinematics tab, this just exposes all of the motor directions, the position limits, steps per degree, drive micro steps, and the Denevit-Hartenberg parameters so that you could use this software to control, another robot. We have the Input Outputs tab. This has an area for testing I/O control. You can control I/O or read from I/O on a 5-volt board like an Arduino Nano or an Arduino Mega. We've got control for an auxiliary comm device or a PLC. This can communicate over Modbus to read coils, holding registers, all those sorts of things to be able to communicate with PLCs. We've got a registers tab where we've got counting registers to count in the program, and then position registers to be able to offset positions for things like stacking or placing parts in a row. We've got the vision tab. This you can just use a basic USB webcam to acquire an image and then have the robot go pick a part based on a vision find. And then we've got the G-code tab. This just allows you to create a very simple G-code program so the robot can run a G-code path. Currently it's just STL files. I'll be probably building out a whole tab for the virtual robot and creating more functionality. Eventually I'd like to make it so that we can teach positions off points of parts and import step files and other CAD types, but that'll be a future step, but I'm always working on the software.